On this episode of Cronkite Sports Live Extra, we take a look at Alan Mukeba's journey from Belgium to Arizona State.
On the gridiron, we dive into Carde Mac's family and grief-driven path from Texas to Tempe.
And our Nick Mormon captured the story of the Hungarian twins and what water polo looks like with your sister by your side. Welcome to Old Maine. I'm Mia Bensage.
And I'm Easton Stockford.
And whether it's the first stop on your tour as a freshman or your last stop when taking graduation photos, this is a very historic building on campus.
Yeah, Mia, historic's an understatement. The oldest building here at ASU, 128 years old. That's almost as old as my parents. Shout out Mom and Dad.
Well, today we have a lot of stories for you. And to start us off, we're going to Jaden Rinkin at Desert Financial Arena for Alan Mukeba's journey.
ASU men's basketball forward Alan Mukeba plays with an infectious passion for the game, one that runs in his DNA.
My father played pro basketball in Belgium. Yeah, so just me being his son, I wanted to do the same. But he really put a basketball in my hands when I was 4 years old. So.
For Alan, there was no doubt he was going to follow in his father's footsteps. But his dream of continuing the family legacy was almost put on hold.
Life was tough in Belgium when I was, I think, 18. And I had to make a decision is either stop playing basketball and go to school, do what I got to do, because you can't really combine the two of them in Europe. But then I decided to take the decision to, come here.
Near the end of COVID-19 guidelines and when he was still just a teenager, Alan made the tough decision to pack his bags and leave Belgium to come to America. But upon his arrival, he would realize things here were different than what he expected.
The way people eat, what people eat, basketball-wise, we don't really pass it. We don't really share the ball like that. It's really about skills, and I'm gonna go get my own, I had to get accustomed to that.
On top of adjusting to new norms, he would also have to adapt to life without his family.
It was just me. We didn't really have opportunities or money for my family to come see me.
Which is why it meant the world that his mom made the journey to Tempe to come watch him play on senior night.
I'm so proud of him.
Even breaking a language barrier to support her son.
Beaucoup d'émotion.
A lot of emotions.
It may have been his father who first put a basketball in his hands, but it was his mother who needed convincing before letting him travel halfway across the world. With Alan living with diabetes, letting go wasn't easy.
She said it's the fact that, I was able to manage my own, diabetes and stuff like that. It convinced her that I was able and ready to go, overseas. She said, nah, look at me today. I'm accomplished. I'm done with my studies and everything, so it was the right choice.
Managing diabetes wouldn't be the only hurdle he would have to overcome, as unlike players from the US, international athletes are ineligible for NIL deals domestically, as it would be a violation of their student visa's off-campus employment restrictions. However, for Alan, that's all the more motivation to be better.
Nah, I want to say that the fact that you do not get money is just like how I used to be before. You want to grind, you want to get to that level to get that money in the league so you can provide for your family and everything.
Dealing with hardship hasn't just been a battle off the court. In his final season, playing through injuries has been a constant.
You guys that feel like it's okay to tap out on seasons and just shut it down because they're hurt a little bit. And I've had a couple of players like that. And Alan Mukeba is the total opposite of that.
That relentless drive to play through pain shouldn't come as a surprise. It's the same mindset that brought Mukeba from Belgium to pursue his dream in America. A journey that's now inspiring friends back home.
I have a lot of friends that's asking me, how did you do this? It's really hard. I'm like, you only have one life. If you could do it, do it. really got to do it. You don't want to live with regrets or anything like that.
As his final college basketball season nears its end, Alan Mukeba's leap of faith and his family's trust in his vision have paid off. Along his NCAA journey, he's fought through injuries and obstacles, but the pursuit of a dream that once seemed dead in Belgium was always worth it.
For Marley Washenitz, the game she had loved once nearly slipped away. Battling mental health struggles, she turned her lowest moments into a message, using her voice, her faith, and even a documentary to reach out to those fighting the same fight she did. Washenitz transformed her pain into purpose, speaking out for those still struggling in silence. On the court, Marley Washenitz is vocal, physical, and unapologetically aggressive. She's the kind of athlete who immediately demands attention the moment she steps on the court. But for years, the fiercest opponent she faced wasn't across the baseline, but it was the battle inside her own head.
I'm a naturally very bubbly, outgoing person. I'm always laughing, and I think because I am that type of person, I need to seem like I'm always okay, and I need to not let anyone see my smile be broken. And so I think because I have that vibrant personality and I'm always putting others kind of first, I never really step back to check myself.
Marley was the leader, always putting others first on the court, but that persona was purely a shield. When COVID-19 shut the world down during her senior year of high school, the joy that once defined her game began to vanish.
I think during that time, I hadn't been looking forward to going to basketball. I hadn't been looking forward to going home. I was just kind of stuck in a blur of what I really wanted and what I really needed to get into a better mental health space.
Experiencing that low point pushed Marley to share her story. So before playing a single college game, she partnered with a director to create the documentary Struggling in Silence, focused on student-athlete mental health.
That's what she was willing to do. As a teenager, before she got to college, she didn't know all her college teammates yet. She didn't have her social structure in place going to college. To being able to share your experience and your emotions is so incredibly mature, and I think it empowered a tremendous amount of other people. And her courage was what stood out to me more than anything.
Smith watched as Marley navigated the duality of her identity. He saw a player who was often targeted for her physicality, even needing police escorts for team buses in high school because of threats from opponents, and realized that fight in her was what kept her going.
She's sweet, she's kind, and more importantly, I'm going to be very honest with you, she's a competitor. She's got some dog in her, and that's the cool thing about her. And I personally think if I had to say the one reason that she didn't do something where she took her life, it's because she's that dogged competitor. Because she was fighting with whatever demons, whatever her self was, and she wasn't about to freaking give in.
It wasn't just the isolation of the pandemic. As a teenager navigating recruiting and family struggles, Marley felt pressure to fake it until she made it, believing vulnerability meant weakness. Speaking out helped her grow more grounded in herself, but it was through her faith that everything truly clicked, giving her the strength to turn her struggle into advocacy.
Leaning on God and honestly growing my faith had really helped me the most. I think that when I just started trusting Him and not trying to figure out the why, I became a little bit more stable and at peace with life.
Marley's story reflects an unfortunate larger-scale reality in college and pro sports. Recently, NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore passed away at 25 and was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A tragic reminder that success on a field or court doesn't always reveal the battles that athletes face off of it. By sharing her story, Marley hopes to change the stigma around mental health, encouraging athletes to speak up instead of suffering in silence.
And I soon to learn, obviously, after doing a deeper dive into myself and into my mental health within student athletes, of learning that being vulnerable is more of a strength, in my opinion, than a weakness, because you're being brave enough and you're being bold enough to speak up to tell people how you feel and what's going on. And that's harder than just shutting down and keeping it in a bottle. I think I just want people to understand that it's okay to not be okay, and that you speaking up is 10 times a bigger strength than you keeping it to yourself and battling. And I think that I want people to understand or to hear that in mental health, like, it's okay to not be okay, and you're not going through this alone.
Marley Washington still plays with the same fire and intensity that defined her in high school. But now, as a college senior, her biggest impact isn't just on the court. By sharing her story, she's helping change the conversations about mental health in sports, reminding athletes everywhere that strength isn't found in silence, but in speaking up. For Cronkite Sports, I'm Mia Bensich.
ASU wide receiver Raiden Vines-Bright attended Corona del Sol High School, which is about 18 minutes from here at Mountain America Stadium, somewhere in that direction. Head coach Kenny Dillingham always knew the Arizona native would end up here at ASU, but his journey to Tempe was far from a straight shot.
Raiden Vines-Bright began his high school career at Corona del Sol, just 7.3 miles away from Mountain America Stadium. And now in 2026, the Tempe native is finally coming home to be a Sun Devil.
I love it, I love it with everything. It's been a great feeling, being able to see my friends, see my family all the time. Yeah, I was always an ASU fan growing up, being a little kid, having the ASU jersey and stuff like that.
I went to ASU, so coming to the games, it was just kind of one of the things we did.
But what makes his homecoming so special is how long he had to leave home behind. Vines-Bright's journey spans 6,756 miles and started when he left for IMG Academy in Florida for his senior season of high school.
It was hard because you're going from Arizona to Florida, so it's like a whole entire day there, and it's expensive, so it was tough.
That path away from home tested him right away in the form of a season-ending injury.
He got hurt before the second game of the year, so hopping on a flight, a red-eye, to get down there, it was tough, it was scary, but he's a tough kid and handled it, the best he could.
But Raiden didn't view it as a setback, rather a chance to come into his own.
I kind of took it as a blessing in disguise, it gave me a chance to really crack down on my fundamentals.
Even with the injury, Vines-Bright earned 21 offers, including one from ASU, giving him the chance to come back to Tempe.
We were looking at U of A and ASU were both in his top 5 schools. But I think for him, he needed to get away, to have that experience away from home.
Raiden once again left the homecoming on the table and decided on the University of Washington. But during his true freshman season, everything once again was almost taken away. On November 15th, 2025, Vines-Bright took an awkward hit, forcing him to leave the game on a stretcher and in an ambulance.
Oh, I think that was probably the scariest moment of my life, to be honest with you. I just remember running through the stadium to get down to where the coaches were. But it was extremely scary, and trying to stay calm and not freak out because I didn't really know what was going on.
Despite what could have been a career-ending injury, Raiden again took it as a chance to grow.
I took it, left it in God's hand, and just let him take over and just trusted that this was the process.
The reason Vines-Bright turns his setbacks into edges is inked right on his leg. The tattoo about strength signifies what has been a key part of overcoming every struggle.
Strength, to me, is just kind of keeping the right mindset and just keep going, being able to, face these setbacks and always just be able to conquer it and just go forward.
I do think going through all of these experiences, being on his own at an early age, having to make really tough decisions has really matured him and made him stronger.
In 2026, Raiden entered the transfer portal and decided to return back to Tempe, 7.3 miles from where it all started.
I'm very excited, being able to play in front of people I grew up with and that I know for years. So, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I told him in the recruiting process, I said, listen, dude, you're going to go experience what you want to experience. But just know eventually you're going to miss it back here and you're going to want to come home.
Returning to his roots has given Vines-Bright the opportunity to be a hometown hero, competing for the school he once rooted for.
He wants to be able to help build ASU's program and help bring local talent to the local college. I think that's important for him. And so if he can be that role model for, recruits to come, I think that's great.
After all the tribulations and years away from home, Tempe's backyard star will only have to wait a few more months to wear his hometown colors in August. For Cronkite Sports, I'm Easton Stockford.
Cardi Mac's journey to Tempe was shaped by both sudden loss and heavy responsibility. After the passing of his father in October, he was forced to grow up quickly, leaving his family behind. But with their support behind him, he was able to turn this chapter with both grief but also purpose. Our Colgan Herschel has the story on the running back.
Freshman running back Cardi Mack grew up in Humble, Texas in a family of 9. By virtue, competition was rooted in the 7 Mack children.
It didn't matter what it was, we competed at everything. If there was ever a time where one of us was further away, we always had somebody supporting us at every game.
Cardi wasn't lying either.
We never missed a game. We actually never missed practices either. We were very big on being present. People would call and say, well, we could pick him up, and no, we're taking our own kid.
Even as a nurse, Camellia was present, so it was hard for her when Cardi moved to Tempe for early spring enrollment.
This is my first time ever missing a practice in his whole life. I've been present even when he was in high school. After I get off work, I go sit and watch the practice in scrubs and do my work and watch practice.
Cardi is honoring his mom's support by majoring in physical sciences and following her footsteps into healthcare.
I've just always had an interest in it, just mainly because like injuries, so you don't fall into the same tracks.
None of my other kids chose the healthcare route. Most of them said, we saw you study so hard and work so hard, and we didn't want to do all that. But yeah, he knew that hard work pays off.
That work ethic was instilled in Cardi from a young age by his father, Nathan Mack.
Bigger boys had to go up against the little boys to make them tough, and I hated it. But my husband would encourage it. It really made them who they are. You know, it actually made them better at the sport, for sure, being the toughness.
But the toughest challenge came on October 5th, 2025, when Cardi lost his father to a hemorrhagic stroke, leaving behind Cardi, his mother, and 6 siblings.
It was really rough. Really rough. I would say I didn't want to play football anymore. Like, I was kind of done with my football season, but I had to go and finish it because I know it's what my dad would have wanted me to do.
I think after that happened, he needed to bear his father's name and carry that cross to keep what we call the Mack dynasty going. And he understood the assignment. You know, it doesn't stop because your dad's gone. He instilled so much into you.
Mack returned to the field aided by his siblings and mother.
They were the main ones that really talked me into to keep going and keep playing. And my mom, she really did talk me into that because it kept our family together. It keeps our family together.
Cardi's relationship with his mom was needed now more than ever before.
He's like, Mom, I'm here. Don't worry about anything. I'm here. I got you. Also, I made him aware that I'm fine. You go live your dream.
I'm going to be there for her whenever she needs me because my dad can't be there for her no more, so I got to be the one to step up and be there for her.
I think that's the moments when I cry, when I see my kids going through so much. Easier for me as an adult, you know, even though it's hard, but to see my kids cry is heartbreaking.
Sparked by their mother, the family honored the Mack dynasty in a unique way, keeping their father with them wherever they go.
My mom, she wanted to get a tattoo, so we all got a matching tattoo. And then 10/5/2025, that's the day he died. So we all got the same matching tattoo all right here.
Definitely a bonding moment. Every time I look at one of them with the initials and the date, it's just special, very special.
While his father is gone, Cardi carries him in more ways than one, making sure that he never truly left.
The Wonder Twins, Fred and Ron Weasley, even Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa. Extraordinary twins are absolutely everywhere, even right here at the Mona Palmer Aquatic Center, where ASU water polo's super sisters, Lyra and Dominica Cardos, have been attached at the hip all the way from Hungary to Tempe, carrying success every step of the way. Our Nick Mormon has more on ASU water polo's built-in best friends.
There's a saying that goes like this. They say having a sister is like having a best friend you can't get rid of. Yet this saying may hit closer to home for the Hungarian twins Dominica and Laura Cardos, who have been playing water polo together since they were just 6 years old.
We do everything together. Most of the people would say that you're not bored of each other, like you spend every single day together, but no, this is what we enjoy, to achieve goals together. When we started the water polo, there was always one of us who was above the other. And we always tried to be on the same level as the other. And we arrived to that place where there's no difference between us. Like, both of us is good in different things. Like, for myself, I'm better in defense, she's really good in offense. But this is how we connected.
Growing up in Hungary, the two had somewhat of a name to live up to, as their mother, Kristina Kardos, had won multiple medals as a goalie for the Hungarian national team.
She was our coach when we were young, and in my opinion, that was the time when we developed the most. She was a really strict coach. Like, she sent us home when we didn't do what she said or we make faces to her. Water polo always stays in the pool, so we're trying to not talk a lot about water polo at home because we need our private life too. Yes, but it could never happen. Yes. So like every time after every game we are talking about how our performance and what can we do to be better.
Throughout their childhood, Dominika and Laura consistently participated for Hungary's national team, even winning the 2021 15 and under European Championships.
So first we didn't even realize that we won a European gold medal. And after, when we had under 16 World Championship, under 17 European Championship again, we start to feel how important water polo is for us.
While the twins were rising the ranks, head coach Petra Party was quick to reach out.
I've known about them for a long time, and I've been watching them for a while, you know, growing up in the Hungarian junior youth national team system. And as soon as they became recruiting eligible, I sent them a message on Messenger, and they messaged me back. It's like, yeah, sure, we're free to talk whenever you're available. So I immediately gave them a call.
Much like Dominika and Laura, Coach Party left her home country of Hungary to play water polo at ASU all the way back in 2011.
I understand all the nervousness that they're going through or experiencing in their freshman year. You know, new culture, new language, new university, new teammates, new coaches, new program, new food, new absolutely everything. So it's a huge task to take on, and it's very challenging. And I think it's helpful, I hope that it's helpful for them to know that I've been through the same thing.
Petra for us is like a second mother. So here, I couldn't imagine my life without her.
The two sisters would commit to ASU in the summer of 2025, and in just their first season, have already made themselves impactful players for the program.
ASU water polo's Millie Quinn and Sophie Shorter-Robinson started at the same high school in New Zealand before meeting again right here at ASU. Yeah, that kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does, Easton. It brings me back to Pinnacle High School, where we actually had freshman year English together, and now we're here, freshmen at ASU.
Our Mahala Reynolds has more on another high school to college connection.
Can you tell me a little bit about your guys' friendship? What was your first impressions of each other? Did you immediately like one another?
Long before Arizona State, seniors Millie Quinn and Sophie Shorter-Robinson started their journey as teammates in high school, over 7,000 miles away in Auckland, New Zealand. And while their chemistry as teammates was immediate,
from the very first moment they played together, they played incredibly well together.
the friendship they have now didn't form overnight.
In high school, definitely a little bit different. Millie was definitely more on the more like introverted side to now she's kind of come out of her shell, I'd say more, but I was the year above her at high school. I felt a lot more older than her back then.
Definitely that age gap I think is more prominent in high school when you're not really like with that person all the time. And then yeah, I was a little bit scared of her, I'll admit. But yeah, no, her and her sister really helped my transition when I came and I started at a new high school. And then yeah, I would say the friendships definitely developed over time, and I think we're more equal now than we used to be.
After high school, distance would separate them, as they would go on to attend different universities. But after Millie's freshman year, she would find herself back in the pool with Sophie, this time in Tempe.
So when Millie was transferring to ASU, Sophie was there, and she was like the only Kiwi, and that was like her home. And Millie obviously was looking at going there, and I remember sitting them both down outside saying, look guys, this will be a partnership that will take on the NC2As. Like, you guys together are a force of nature.
What once felt like a chasm for this friendship when distance stood between them was erased after they reunited.
They're very different, like the initial personalities, but then you put them together and then you realize they mimic each other so much.
By force of experience and high pressure, high emotional moments, you definitely build relationships that you might not know you're building, I guess, at the time, but it's a strength that is built without knowing, and then it's a foundation for a great friendship, which I see today.
This forged friendship would create an even stronger connection in the pool.
From playing at such a young age together, like, you just know each other's tendencies really well. So it's cool to see that transition from like playing at high school to college and internationally together, because they're all so different. But I think after you just play with someone for so long, like Millie and I, you know each other's tendencies. I feel like it's gotten better over the years. Like, I feel like we've always had a good connection throughout high school and growing up, but I think now playing 4 years at college together, like, you can just really see how well it's like transitioned.
But for Millie and Sophie, it went beyond just their friendship. Who they are touched others around them, even back to where it all started.
They showed me a lot of the ambiguity, how with enough patience and choosing kindness, you can actually change people, and you can actually grow. That's where growth happens, when you allow people, to fail and until they learn to succeed.
Lots of little Dio girls are just in awe of what they've achieved, and they want to be like them. So it's really cool that they're role models and, good people.
While the two find themselves in the final part of their season at ASU, it's safe to say this won't be the final time we see these two friends together.
It's been a really special experience coming to ASU and playing collegiate water polo. I think we're both sad to leave behind the team and the girls, because we have, been so close with them. But I think, looking forward, we both want to play professionally in Europe, so we're going to keep that playing together. We're going to keep that going.
So it'll definitely be bittersweet to leave, but it's nice knowing you're leaving the program in good hands to grow even more.
ASU swimmer Alexia Sotomayor has built her career around adapting to a unique vision condition that affects the way she sees the world. In the pool, the freshman from Peru left her home at just 15 to pursue swimming at the highest level, turning that challenge into the biggest part of her success. Our Brady Foxwell has more.
If you looked at Sun Devil swimmer Alexia Sotomayor's career hardware, you might think she's been crushing her opponents with ease her entire life. And while she has been winning national competitions since 2021, it's been anything but easy for the freshman from Peru. Sotomayor was born with unilateral vision, a condition that left her seeing only out of her right eye.
It's really hard at first when I started to explain about it. It's actually a condition that I didn't really open up till maybe a year and a half ago. I can't really explain what I can see or can't, because it's been like that my entire life. I was born with this condition. And it's just the way I grew up.
Growing up, Sotomayor had to alter her approach in the pool.
Obviously, I have to focus a little additionally on my technique, which is what every elite swimmer wants to have, a really good technique. Having that obviously helps you to make it easier to swim in a straight line. Backstroke itself was a little harder.
And her challenges continued outside the pool. As a kid, it was difficult to explain her lazy eye, which negatively impacted her self-esteem.
When I was younger, obviously that played a little bit mentally of what people really think of me. And obviously that kind of stick up with me up till today.
Alexia lived in Peru, but had to leave home at 15 to pursue her dreams of competing at the highest level.
I feel like my parents are probably the ones that have seen me through it all. They're the ones that supported my idea of leaving my house when I was 15. And obviously leaving my family was one of the hardest decisions I've made. And they were by my side through every single one of the process I had to make.
Thanks to her parents' support, Sotomayor placed 7th in the junior national championships in front of her loved ones in her home city of Lima, Peru.
Get top 7 in the world. And doing it at home was an experience that I will never forget. The impact of seeing everyone, my family, my friends, and people in the stands, everything was packed. It was a truly awesome experience.
When Sotomayor committed to Arizona State, she chose a place that has a proven track record of developing international talent.
I think that just so much adds to the strength of our program because we have people from all over the world who are attracted to being here and they had a choice to come here. And then when they go back to their countries and have success all over the world, is kind of everything that you hope for.
Sotomayor hopes to find that global success by representing her home country of Peru in the 2028 Olympics.
The Olympics are definitely my biggest dream. They have always been my biggest dream.
What used to cause shame and hurt for her in unilateral vision has now become a strength.
I feel like if there was any way medically that in some future I could be able to gain vision, I don't think I would change it. Because now at 19, I realize how much that makes me who I am.
The great John Wooden once said, "A good coach makes the player better, but a great coach makes the person better." ASU beach volleyball has certainly been impacted by its coaching, as Kristen Glatfelder brought over Josh Roper from GCU, a 30 under 30 recipient for coaching. Our Joseph Chirino has more on the coaching impact for the Sand Devils.
Could you picture yourself being in this position just those couple of years ago, working alongside Glatfelder, ASU, this big Division I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Josh Roper, who is a current coaching assistant for Sun Devil Beach Volleyball, began his coaching journey by reaching out to Kristen Glatfelder, who was the beach volleyball head coach for GCU at the time, about open positions on the staff. After discussion, Glatfelder extended Roper the role of student manager, which ignited a passion toward his ultimate career path.
She was definitely the one that kind of inspired me to go the coaching route. I still played a lot in college, but getting to work underneath her and seeing how she ran a program and inspired a lot of our athletes, but also inspired me, really pushed me to kind of see that as a career path that I could take and pull me to do the same thing.
With this opportunity, Roper surely didn't let it go to waste, as in 2023, he won the ABCA 30 under 30 award, which recognizes talented up-and-coming coaches in the beach volleyball world.
It was pretty sick. There's some really cool people on that list, and a lot of which are my peers that I've kind of grown up with, which is really cool. And I mean, as an intern, sometimes it can get difficult, not getting paid or having to kind of spend a lot of extra time. So it was just validating for all of the work that I had put in up to that point.
Once Roper completed his internship at GCU, he held 3 other coaching roles from 2023 to late 2025. But in that August month of 2025, ASU hired him as a director of athlete development, which was quite different compared to GCU, but Glatfelder made the transition seamless for Roper.
Has been a very big difference in adjusting to how the two programs work, even though it's underneath the same boss. I would say it was a very comfortable shift for me because I know her and I know I love working for her so much. I knew anywhere that she was going to be at is where I wanted to be as well.
He's been a great addition to our staff and our program, and I tried to get him a year earlier, and he was kind of, doing some coaching and things like that didn't allow him to come on. And then it was just kind of, fate, the way that everything worked out.
Glatfelder wasn't the only old friend Roper turned back the clocks with, as senior athlete Samaya Morin was also on that GCU roster during Roper's tenure with the Lopes.
Yeah, I was really excited. Josh and me have always been really good friends. Almost our 6-year anniversary of being friends now. So he was our practice player, so we got to be a lot more close and personal, know him as a human and all of that stuff. And so him stepping into this role as my a third coach and basically our assistant here at ASU, I just feel we had such a good foundation. It made it really seamless, and he's super respectable, very charismatic, very hardworking. So I just think that he filled his role really well.
It took less than 5 months for the Sun Devil program to promote Roper from graduate assistant to his current role at ASU, which created a life-lasting memory for Roper with the team.
When we got to celebrate in Kauai and tell them, they reacted a lot bigger than I thought they would, and it was super heartwarming to know that they were as excited about it as I was.
Thank you for tuning in on this edition of Cronkite Sports Live Extra.
Yeah, so many talented reporters, so many great stories told, and it's sad that the year's coming to an end, but stories aren't going anywhere. Check out YouTube, Instagram, and X, all at Cronkite Sports, for all the feature stories you saw today.
For Easton Stockford, I'm Mia Bensage for Cronkite Sports Live Extra.